Hey guys, I'm MG, and today I'm finally finishing the Cornetto Trilogy with The World's End, which is a 2013 science fiction action comedy film that is about five friends reunited to stop a robot invasion. It was directed by returning director Edgar Wright, who wrote the script alongside Simon Pegg, who stars as the main character, Gary King. However, why don't we stop drinking and start reviewing right now? After the frustrating watch of Hot Fuzz, I was interested to see how this film would follow up, and to be honest, it is certainly an improvement. It doesn't quite reach the highs of Shaun of the Dead for me, but it's not too far behind, because it genuinely makes me happy for a lot of the runtime. Like, I found all of the five main characters to be really endearing, and are probably my favorite protagonists in this whole trilogy. Gary King was a very funny and heartfelt main character, and I was invested in his deep personal struggle about having nothing in his life, with Simon Pegg being absolutely incredible here, who perfectly transitions his character from a cocky alcoholic to an emotional wreck later on in the movie. Andy was very delightful, who is really engaging to watch and has a very sweet bond with Gary. And Nick Frost is very great in embodying his character's seriousness. Steven was quite entertaining, who has plenty of moments to shine, with really natural acting from Paddy Considine. Oliver was very humorous, and Martin Freeman is great at being energetic in his role. Peter was incredibly enjoyable, with Eddie Marsan's performance playing a huge part in that for me, since he's always committed in his character. I also can't get over the network as a villain. Why is he so funny? I think it's hysterical how he gave up with Gary, and Bill Nighy was a perfect fit for the character, as he did a tremendous job in here, and all the other installments of the trilogy. The direction by Edgar actually flows really naturally, unlike Hot Fuzz, with a lot of smooth edits and astounding cinematography that do a great job of capturing the tone of the film. Well, the opening was a little clumsy, but it could have been a lot worse. And the story in general is very heartwarming, since it establishes guys drinking at a pub and introduces an interesting twist about robots that work really nicely. The action is quite strong, with all of the fight and chase scenes having marvelous fighting choreography that contains so much energy in it and enlightens the whole experience for me. And the music is great, so goddamn catchy and fast, that wonderfully supports the style of the action without it being too out of place. The visual effects have aged gracefully from 2013, with the whole fire and light effects looking visually stunning, without any dated shots. But why is this not as good as Shaun of the Dead? Well, that's because I wasn't invested in the whole story. I was for most of it, but some parts felt like standard, not all that funny antics. Like when they're in a club, or some scenes in a bar. It felt like the plot dragged on a little bit, and I wasn't very interested in those parts, but it would always create my interest again by the great action or twists. But because of how the story is still consistent of the characters going to the 12 pubs, despite the robot's danger, it doesn't necessarily make for all that of an interesting watch the whole time. The pacing was a little slow as well, and I would have preferred it if the film was shorter, due to its charming formula running a bit thin in some of the second act. And I wish the Robot Mania started sooner, since it starts a little bit late. Plus, Sally was kind of boring. Despite a lively performance from Rosumend Pike, I didn't care about her very much, and just served as an unnecessary character in the narrative. So overall, I had a great time watching this film, because while it doesn't always intrigue me, the parts that do are really worthwhile. And if you're a fan of this trilogy, then this will be a satisfying finale that I would recommend to everyone, since it is a very nice movie to look back on. 8.4 out of 10. Goodbye everyone, and thank you for watching. Bye!